Basadi. Okay. Dikobo tsa lona tsa banna ba babe, ba maswe, ba nasty. Like what? Like as in what? Ba diabolos, ba Satan, ba heavy, ba intense. Nyaya karene, wazing. Listen, ay shit. Basadi do ka banna ba lona ba maswe. Swe. Nyaya ba maswe. Ba di horisi hure. Wiki kiyo, morning and take apara over and over again. Yeah, I wasn't even planning on recording. Everything. Let's say I Lucera Talohanya Lebabi Luna Gofale Maswehale Kopane as a concert. So can nobody catch a break? Rataloha. Embana, Hakina Tabaluna Gofela Halekopane Halekanse. Yeah. Ga ke nata mo ke gatileng teng e taba ha le tlo e bona ga lo kopana le yona ke re anywhere le maswe lolotle ga le kopa ga le combination as in listen it's giving loko ya safe combination the way in the fela go fela le kopana le maswe ga teng nya rona long bula lang gura Nalong kra, long tshwara ka dijeres. Ke le bon. Utlelang ke le bankrile. Empa ga ke nata because ke feelang ka lo tlheleng le rather nti bankrile mina. Le bankrile nna ke nna o bankilwe. Nya tle. Ga le satane ga le bodile. Ga le maswe. And it appears lo maswe when re gone go etsetsa nnekes. Ga re itse re irele maswe a gago Harit. Go betere ga ke dimele dialite, ne? Go betere. Alright. Leng tshware ke dijerese ake. Lang suga nna nkare ke kentswe ka ga fara mentsi a nang le omo. Alright. Ke batla o hetimulana. Or again. Wiki ke ga ke sa itse re ke etseng ke be jwang. Because ntse ke apara dibeke upon dibeke. Ke all up in this. Like it's a business. Nya lo tlhele maswe. Ene ga ke na tabalelo na lo tlhagela kopane vie. A ke na tabalelo. Ha ke le rat. Ke le hate. Ana ntweng kare ke re le ganyane ga kana. Intriguing, interesting. Kalon. Ana rona long tshwatlela bophelo bo ka moso jwa. Le sa gone go itukisetsa maphelo na self. Ha le gone go itukisetsa maphelo. Empa le of the imagination that nzalwane o le trapa. Woo! As in trapa. Nzalwane o le trapang ga kana. Ya ka ambitions re le ka gona gong tshenyetsa bokamoso le ntshwatlele bo destiny. Le sa gone go itukisetsa. Bonang gore le tswa ditete ga kakang, bonang gore le tswa dithoko ga kakang. Bonang gore le rurugile difatlhego ga kakang. Since ke tswa mo YouTube ke le shapa ka quick current ke le phinyetsa on my way out ke le sia ka bona le maputso le baputso jwa azang la khona go nkhutlisa di bring back lost la mamela ga le gone go itukisetsa maphelo ga le gone go tlogela go lla dikele di tse le tsa di crocodile because ain't nothing sincere about whatever the heck you be doing ga le zama ga le edit edit to no avail. How many years has it been? Nyaya utlelang kare nyaya kare ga le gone go itukisetsa maphelo a lona a grom a whack a weird a odd a tseleng a bodileng a satane a demon possessed. Yo, you can't even fix your own life and yet you think you can destroy mine. Ke le trapile hakana ke le tumpile hakana ke le bontshitse bomma ba lona ke le ntsheditse mabanda ka le body 5 finger. How you gonna destroy my life when you can't destroy yours? When you can't fix yours? How you gonna destroy your sister's life when you can't even fix your own, baby? I mean, listen, listen. Go di sang komeng tsa lena tse dimpe kaofela ke re le maswe ga le kopana. Ke listen di sha go dintsweng tse. Gore lo lokisang maphelo a lona pele. Thomang ka lena. And then ha le fetsa if you can succeed go gutlisa maphelo a lona a tshwatlegileng. The puzzle pieces that are scattered all over the ocean, so there's no bringing your lives back together in one piece. One portrait, one snap, reflection ya gago e bonagalang mo sepiling. Jaka ga le sa gone go lokra di puzzle piece tsa maphelo a lona lo lotlhe le di put it back together again. You might look like something enkareng e decent. Anara mozalwana o ntse le rapa. Go di jara tse here, 13 years going on 14, or is it 14 years going on 15? The way I haven't been recording for so long. I guess I counter. mafaratlhe bo osi le bontate ba snacks ba maswe jaaka gale sa go lukisa maphelo a lena a na re mozalwana ntse le drop for almost 15 years aning jelen nyom khona kanjani jaaka ga ke leng ke tse di shankuris ke tse di money di chalete di zaga di shankura. I've drained your businesses. I've caused rifts amidst you. La lwana, la trapana, la jumpana, la tshwarane ka di jeresi. Hale batlane. Hale fetana di corridoring. Ha se ke go nna phela nakeng. I done did that single-handedly. Listen. Mamela ke that girl. Get that girl. Ke le gonne grandshap. Well, that's what they be calling it in these like black streets of South Africa. Ke le gonne dintsha. Anare jaka ga motho o nosi. Ke le te ke le jang. Jaka ga ke le khona ga botlhoko ga kana. Ha ke le ntšhelene mona. Bua. Atlama melomo ya lena e snacks. Let's weng khataba. Hobane gane ke eme fana ke emetse kuranta ya lena in which you are writing ditori tse telele. Tsa ke sa di tlhaloganye mara listen, wa ngwala wena. O author. You that scribe. Aningitsheleni bo scribe njengoma ningakwazi ukulungisa impilo zenu ezibolile ezibhihlisiwe ngemithi umzalwane antrape ure woo ke le trapile jaka ga nna ke le tabotse nkare le pampiri gagana anare le sa khone go lukisa maphelo a lona a tabotsweng jaka pampiri lo nkhona jwa ra tlhaloganya hore hona le optical illusion in these streets. Looking like I be out your suffering. We all understand there is an optical illusion in these uneasy, ugly streets, muddied by your occult feet. That I is going nowhere, just as you is going nowhere. And since your misery be loving company, you be thinking I is hanging out with you in your miry dirt. We understand God has left an optical illusion, and so therefore a bad taste in your ugly, plaque-filled mouth. That I'm actually really under the influence of anything at all that you're doing, and that's why my life is going nowhere. Look at me be out here near on turning 42 bo makausa. You think you got me, eh? You have cornered me like a rodent in your ugly houses that always have got vele such infestations as those. Marajaka Khalile of the imagination, oh Harry Potter, that you can thoroughly compete with the kingdom of heaven. Oh, look at you, Ghost Jam CC, nah. Oh! Jumping up and down looking like a kangaroo and whatever. Seeing as you are of the imagination that you actually got setting up on a sister, setting up on a girl. Hey, why let's I to kiss it to my pillow nan garga chwatlilwe. I can't get le tabutse nkare le di pampir. I can't get le ngwapile nkare ke cat. I can't get le the blue eye nkare ke that GBV monster. Why does I khone go di pet back together up again? Why aren't you making yourself your own medic? Because I can't only say lukisa kadi da vuma hachu. La vuma hachu. Pela sango. Le khona lukisa boke. Le khona lukisa boke. Sisi nana. Le khona go lukisa maphelo a lena a tswileng tseleng. Akrom. Jaka go le their way yo. Go baneng mo lifeng le sa vetse le fetse. Die deng ya go lukisa whatever you be trying to fix. Before you be trying to deal with a lady that done put you in a position to need to fix some stuff. Tsonkatsoba. Utlelang ka jeno ke di 2080 tsa ga July. 2026 ele ya lona ele filang ka re mo yona you are King Kong le brave le brava le strong lona le incredible Hulk le superhero le go etsaya kankane cause you those guys and you those girls 2026 ya lena cause I get asia rona asia anyone else but lena ba go occulting I get la rula world le rula le ha tshetle bangwa nice ba go ya sis jaka ga in this 2026 le tsaile le ha tselo lo thola le letsa la lo Jaka in this 2026, you done grabbed the earth and made it your own, baby. Luki-san, because if you are the creator of all this, baby, then you can uncreate, you can fix. I get it, you've made yourselves gods among men. Luki-san, mapelo alena. Khalibona hora alena mapelo adinga fixation, fixing. Fixerization. Idi 2080 tsa July ya 2026 ya alena etsayeng. Matanka yona kitimani. And Jaka ga ke ntse fana ke record a video ke poster content ne ke sa batle go e poster. It appears gore nna ke re ke tsaegile ka tsunami ya lenatlhe. Utlolang leng tshela ka metsi nna ko mawatleng. Ke tsaegile. Ke mo ke capitulateile ke postile. Sisters. Ba ngogile nna ka di jeresi ba re ka ra borona re rula world. Who run the world? Occult. Hey, version ya Beyonce. Ke mo ba iremisitse ba re who run the world. Bosachan you ano shem le bongile mostrateng le bokile jaka ga le gona go cry engwe ntwe le batlang mo le heartsing Kimo sisters wa tla heka di 28 tsa July 2026 din swir. Ke postile finally ke sasbay. Hobane ke mo matsatsi a ntse a kitima a matha mona a ikentse Speedy Gonzalez. Ke feditse TEFL course ya ka. I'm sitting here twiddling my fingers doing some top-up courses tse tlo tsayang sebakanyana mara go fela da. And jaka ga ke emetse certificate ya mina exactly wa itse go ema. Ooh shit. I'm sitting here waiting for my certificate to arrive. And so without that certificate, can't no sister be applying for nothing. And according to the TEFL Academy, it can take, if you're South African, up to 6 weeks to course for you to get your certificate. So frankly, a month and a bit get blow me so shit. And I'm just waiting to feel like shaking like a freaking leaf or whatever in the midst of a tempest. Just waiting to get a job. It might take less time if I have got a digital certificate, but even that is not yet here. And I'm just anxious, like a little vibrating atom on the spot, unable to just keep myself in a bunch. So what then has Assistant Lady Chica done in the midst of all this harassment, abuse? To a point of leeching in you those parasites of a Christian o sa buying skelem sa lona hale batla o feditse ka lona o nkile se khotlela ka fela sa gage a se gwa fopa on you kumegini izinja phumegini njengetswape kodwa look at me be out here walking around ka panty esale ka neng so tswape ke mo ikeni vf mo hara ezi next spy phumegini mara I mean what am I gonna do when I'm bombarded by your sorcery? Like tell me please, like sister needs to know. I need to know. Come and tell a girl please, I need to know. Yeah, Minjafela gathering dust like a big 2 weeks nyan. It's 2 weeks too many for me to sit here waiting around while I'm bombarded by all of your nasty sorcery. Hey man la tormenta nyaya tlela lorisa etlele khathatsa batho letsa batho ba walk around ngare ba ka fa gara metsi lolotle le re ira rena rolotle re benkara le ditlhapi ka fa gara metsi, okay, go ocean swimming around in some waters when we supposed to be breathing air and not in like just dealing in the ocean because we ain't got no gills. When you're gonna endure a person through so much spiritual torment and so many death curses that can't do nothing else but do that which been always all these streets all this time been working for me. Umsebenzi wami uyangifole songenza ukuthi ngifilishe better. Mangi record and you feel right. You fall off from Antweleza. And then I can post that because feel like ke ba trapile ke ba gwarile even ke banketse di chelete dincha. So I'm back to doing that which I said I wouldn't do. I don't want to do it. But I mean, what am I going to do when I'm out just sitting around twiddling my fingernails and everything? Waiting for the TEFL Academy to give me my TEFL certificate so I can go and do what I need to be doing out here doing it like I'm doing it for TV. Do not the millennials like hope I advert the LAS bright. Do it like you're doing it for TV. Hey, maybe I should try to do something like I'm doing it for television. With a face beat and everything, looking like I wake up like this because my name is Beyonce. I'm trying, but like I can't. Because I mean, in this transitory phase where I'm headed to another space where y'all ain't gonna be able to follow me, little bambatlats. Until then, what can I do other than that which I've been doing all this time to survive your crap? What? Other than ubuya la no indaba zenu ngintshele grandchaputi lebala. Mamela, libala, dijara, go fail and just on a loop like a hamster on a wheel. And all up in these streets rapping on about how it is that I don't want jack to do with any of y'all grandchap no money ngasho nangandaba. I know kotonya yesha ngoba vele usatana unfundisile utugesha is the very thing that's gonna get you everything you ever wanted, even though abantu banfuni bazobloma nani anyway because angisho niyabadubula. It is 28th July 2026 and I said I wouldn't post this content no more. Like I said, I listen, kifedite guys. I'm done. Yo Korea, get South Korea. Ang nandabanan. Nang pumilagin. Maybe gitlonyala chung chung. Uchino. Uchoy. Uchonchung. An Asian. Hottie. I don't know. But somebody that's not from this country is my husband. But I siku hesha king my South African. Yeah? I think you push a cart up a hill king. I think you hesha sister. I think elementar na hako samon angaragi dimoni. Kilona letenka ma dimoni. Kilona na di tsiri kamahara memele yalen. I think mina izanya not me. No, my ranky mo. Utala. Libisti, mama strateng libisti. Libisti. Because you bestial. Right next to being really busy and all that bestialness. Kabo osiba never leba khone because a se ke go le tabolang le pampiri ke nye dijara tse tsotso tlentse ke blomile pela lena. Single-handedly umzalwane uni ravazile. Woo! Imba! Ashoms, that's you, that's who you be, that's what you be out here achieving. La Foster. Halo khone go itukisetsa mahelo mara lena no lo fetsa lo fokotsa lo fofora lo re nsa ka lebele complete bophelo baka ke le trapile lona ba senang ho Hey, having a full stop. You're a big fat giant paragraph that doesn't have any punctuation, like I said in some of my other videos. You're just letters in J. You hope people like just understand what you're trying to write down. I don't got self-control. You're a city without walls. And so and in that finished off state of yours, with every bone in your ugly bodies, that you can actually get to umzalwane that has been trapping you for years. Listen, buggers, I'm at my breakthrough. There's nothing you can do. Like Boys to Men. It's the end of the road. Yeah, it's over. So I mean, congratulations. Round of applause over here. It's a round of applause here. It's a round of applause. You got to bring me back. But only because, I mean, what's a sister gonna do other than twiddle her fingers in these streets? What am I gonna do? When you lambasting me with headaches, wearing me out with demonic attack, all that jazz. A, B, C, all the way to Z in the alphabet of the occult. All I can do is come here and tell you where to get off until further notice. You made me post when I didn't wanna. So I rocked the same wig again because I get it in continuity. Now I'm on part 31. Look at that go. I thought I would only have 30 parts. Now I'm on part 31. I'm enlisting. Girl can post some parts, but I've never had 30-something parts in a video. That's how determined I was to just like not talk to you idiots. Now I'm adding this last addendum and posting it even though I didn't intend to. Look at me go. Hey? Because I got to the end of my course finally, even though you try to block me from making it to the end. And now I'm just sitting around gathering dust waiting for my TEFL certificate to come. Okay. Well, until further notice, I guess I gotta record and tell you that you're not gonna get me. Cause you can't even get you. You're not gonna win with me. Cause you can't even win with you. Your little magic, your witchcraft, your Satan. I don't know really thusa go lukisa maphelo a lona a snack sa tshwatlhegileng a tswileng tsileng a sa etseng sense. Latella. Se ke go nkwarela go ba 41. Now I'm turning 42. Misatelela, Gresha. That's the thing. You're still freaking disrespectful to the human race. You still don't care about people's opinions. You still don't care what people want for themselves. It is of no essence. Lejuan, la hesha la tella. And how much are a little big kanka? Normal umuntu mdala kuwe. So Gretcha, you should respect them. Normal umuntu ahlakaniphe kundlula. So therefore you should listen to them because they're wiser. Hana mucho ole mufang any kind of respect. La emkaqweni. La nqaphela wonke umuntu. La nihesha wonke umuntu. La nthatha everything from wonke umuntu. That's what you want. I mean, it is entirely okay. You little idiots. No, ke mahlangene. You're in your ugly bodies as you're scratching yourselves from all your STDs. You can thoroughly sit there and listen. A woman that's 40-something years old that avoided all of you and all those itchy STDs and say, as if though you stood a chance. Clean bill of health, wisest thing you ever met in these streets. And can't fix your own life, and so therefore all you can do is all you can do is abo uncle, abo makhulu, abo big sister, niyabanqaphela ngoba banzibile, ngoba baphumekile, ngoba banifaka ibhandi, ngoba bambonisa ama flames, ngoba banitshelile ukuthi niyahlanya angisibhayi. Abantu that rightly avoided you. You're out here teasing them for being a spinster at 42. Yo, I know I'm a respectable woman. Underestimating that thing. I'm a highly respectable woman. I'm kept together. Do you understand? I'm dignified. So I mean, yes, boto. Against of course. That thing that everyone in society, duh. That thing that don't care to like stand up for a pregnant lady in a bus, dog. You always been that idiot that parks in the disabled parking lane. Parking lot komolo. Anandaba. Khale ba go klampa materi ya gago ko campus. Because opakile in the disabled parking lot. In the disabled parking space. So njengoma vele your general disposition, your personality has been ukdelela kangaka ungenandaba nabanye abantu la emgaqweni. I mean, mase ogwara ukarabo for being 42. Because I'm turning 42 isengkhali. Because I avoided you and all of your STDs. I mean, of course, uzongishaya ngeimpamaze sis futhi akunamuntu okufunayo, akunamuntu onendaba nawe. You ain't jack. You've been taking the pregnant lady's chair in the bus. You've been that guy. So nobody cares that you're disrespectful to somebody that you should respect. Because I'm older than you, little Gen Z idiot. And I am a teacher in my own right. Immortal, or dignified, or sophisticated. And then because of huitata and huitompa, I avoided in thoughts at Serianeng Saratang again. I'm a pilong about to Basabatwanele. Kila avoided. And that's why it's not me. Listen, it just says a lot about South Africa. That's why it's Namoto, Mamela. It just says a lot about South Africa. That's why we are Namondone. That's why I need to leave this deadbeat country. Oh, Tabazoba. khona abantu ngaphandle laphaya that look at me and say, congratulations, you escaped a cesspool of nonsense. So wena o sa khonong ho emela OC o leng 9 months pregnant to go busing. Akna taba ka wena le disrespect ya taba hore ke na le 42. Akna taba na nonke. They're looking at me like I passed up something good out of someone that was gonna give me AIDS and gonorrhea in one fell sweep. Okay? I don't care that you disrespectful, but girl, but that you know how to throw lines in the direction of a person into whose wounds you are adding salt. Cause you've been that thing. And the day's gonna come when people are like, lezinja mezi sile. Hashem karabaskisne. Askis os. I know no diladi dinja shem. Mara, congratulations, you made it. Look at you go, girl. Yo, I know strong. Indeed. Watentum fazi, watentum boko. Baby girl, you made it. So all this disrespect all up in these ugly streets of SA, don't matter, cause you made it and you my role model now. Now I know that I don't need to, based on my biological clock ticking at the age of 36, I know that I don't need to settle for that idiot umloya. I know that cause I waited to watch your testimony and got inspired by it, cause I saw ukuthi accommodate satani diabolo senje fela just because nako ya fofa and happy satani diabolo so otse ba go fa batho di headache. Satani diabolo so ona wa gona ho rubatsa batho ba sa batlo rubatsa. Satani diabolo so ona wa gona ho cause a distraction o batla bala for your studies. O bosa go concentrate because Satan diabolo so let's get these stunts, got these tricks up his nasty sleeves. He got stunts. But because of when I got up, whenever someone pump, I now can wait up to the age of 42 at least so far and counting. Ngoba ku better then ukuyaccomodate inja nje enye ehectic edelelayo engami ebhesini for abafazi abamithi and then marry that thing. I get it, girl. They be parking in all of them disabled parking bays, and that's why they can't respect the lady for being 42 and single, because she would rather be that than married to any of that. Yeah. Ngwareng, ke le drapa, ke le tumpa, ke le montle ho le phala. Ngwareng, ke tlhalefile go le phala ke sena mosebetsi though. Ngwareng at your leisure, because that's what you do as wicked men and women. You're like Penina. You be mocking until a lady be out here popping 7 babies. You be cursing until a lady be out here walking down the aisle saying at last like she's Ada James. You be mocking until somebody gets breakthrough. It's how you work. That's how you are. So until I meet my absolutely excellent husband, you will keep teasing me for being just this hectic hard-knock, overzealous spinster that is just too demanding and too picky and iffy and persnickety about a husband that's not coming. You will mock my man until he's all up in your grill out here, showing you flames. And yeah, of course, you'll also mock my babies until they're prettier than your daughters and sons. You will mock until I'm out just sitting here with all my glory. Listen next. So tswelang pele le ngware ne, mara utlwellang bo ngwana bo ntwaisa bo sisters bo girlsina bo whatever is going on over there, nobody actually cares. Listen, ga ke so tlhapelo tlhapa jaaka ga ke tla fana ke di 28 tsa July 2026. I didn't intend on posting, but look at me. I've decided to post this 30-something long part. By the time I'm finished, I'll know exactly how many parts. I won't know exactly, but I'll have a more or less guesstimate. But so far, I had 30 parts. I was done editing. I was not going to post them. I remember I said in my videos that I am eliciting you apologizing to a lady sister. But I mean, listen, you didn't apologize. However, you kept on trying to get me and Gani to post anyway. Ling pizza, kari pala. Hebacho. Ling flatela, angaro nna ke chirinyana enang le 14, enang le boyfriend ko kasi, esa khone ngo jola pela batswadi. So tshwantse njanyana e flate ka a certain flate outside of each other, and this chick I pretended hore o lo reka mangwenya kanti o lo sunana le jomo ko khoneng. Carry on ling flatela njalo. He Jom, continue ukungiflatela ukuthi mina ngiphume ejardini. Uthi ngobuze khoneng. Continue ukungidisrespecta ngathi ngina 14. So angikwazi ukujola phambi kwabazali. And that's why I gotta go out of the yard instead of you be decent enough to come into Jarata Kokota and say, may I speak to Garabo please because I'm trying to court. Carry on ukungiflatela ngemithi ne, and carry on getting me to go out vele nje just like that 14-year-old girl. Mara one that's decent enough and self-respecting enough to say, Jomo ga ke batle go jola le wena and grandpa pora se tsang khono le mme. You are causing noise disturbance. And ninja. Carry on la cherry that is keeping herself in a bunch, maintaining her virginity. I can go to Jomo Jeffel is trying to hit that. Yeah. Carry on a very dignified 14-year-old girl because you think I'm a child. But also kwar. The only reason I'm coming out here is to pretty much do that which I've been doing all this time, telling you and it's bye. So keep on Jomo Kitui happy. Congratulations, Boloiba how bung kitsi, Boloiba how bung pidis, bung flated. Because flate how and we ignore. And no, it was starting to give my grandmother a headache and my mother. Pet hamster nayo. It was starting to spin around in its cage. It's like it gets in because flate and it caused such a hard knock disturbance in the house that finally I had to come out and be like, yazin and no, Literally busy kere over and above it ka di spells tsa lona tsa go tloka ntwe le etsang hore ke ska le bona anyway kare he etle dinja tsa di twetla pelaka since di busy impondo zabo zingi flesh. How long am I going to be dealing with your nakedness? You've got more than enough prophecy. I am repeating myself in ways that frankly I'm sounding like a broken record, so there's nothing brand spanking new that I can never say here that you've never heard coming out of my mouth. So go ignore until you got so loud. And I also had nothing else to do with myself. That I was like, okay, Jamo, I'll come out one more time, you little idiot. You little incendiary beast. As a concert and tell you no. Yeah, but you don't take that for an answer now, do you? But I mean, I guess I can do no other thing but just say no. Until such time that now I have so much on my plate. I'm just so freaking busy that it's entirely possible now to completely ignore. Listen, it's over. Your reign of terror is ending. And I swear to you right now, if it wasn't for internet, interrupted by whatever is going on in the sky, like in my house, the internet has been stopped for whatever reason. Technical issue. So over and above twiddling my fingers and thumbs, now I can't keep myself busy with YouTube or whatever. I can't. So I decided that let me just record this video because and I'm tired. So rather than sleep, which I can't, it's like the day is still so young, rather than or just be depressed, I decided to come and record this video and just make it clear and anyway, nobody has spice them. Because it's the one that I've been wearing, I get it. So I'm just continuing, like just to maintain continuity. I'm posting a 30-something part series. It might even be 40-something parts, but I doubt I'm gonna have more than 10 parts tonight as I'm recording this. So by the time I post, it'll be 30-something likely parts, however many. But I recorded them over 4 days, you know that. Different outfits and everything. And today in particular is the 28th of July. When I was somewhere in the middle of my TEFL course, I wanted to record again, but the way like it's I said it, in the last video that I did, because for what? For sis. For the no. I had that thing in me. And it's gonna just risk my life, but it's true. Like, listen, I'm here now, aren't I? My course is done. I'm only doing like top-up courses that are only 30 hours, and so I can finish it in like a week. And so I'm here now. I need to go and pee, and then we're gonna come here and talk. Ooh, shame. How's about fleet taking when I jomo sisi nana? But I understand these are the last kicks of a dying horse that you're kicking, and this is the last about a batch of content that you're gonna get from me. Listen, I need the loo. Jomo le makhosha ahao. Sing buile boy. Are you relieved? Sis, mamilang ne. It is 28th of July 2026, and have I not been speaking out here in these streets about today is the 28th of July 2024. 2/1/25, and now it's current. You finally succeeded to get current content from me. Hey, the way like a thing. I posted old content. Who responded to the instead, you just worsened and worsened. And if it was not for this power cut, it's not a power cut per se. Electric Wi-Fi cut. If it wasn't for this Wi-Fi cut, you weren't gonna get anything out of me. Listen, I've been managing. I've been coping. I've been getting through the day. That's what I'm getting at. I've been surviving. Alright? Intlizio is resolved, and so too has God made my intlizio resolved. Ooh, shit. Hey, wait, see, you know what you're like? You're like disrespectful junkies that source your drug from someone that you have no, like I said, respectful. They say because you're junkies, and so therefore halena nyakela, halena do, like as in please, halena aseplif, halena nyangeng, halena kokobech. I need it all. No money ne addiction. And so since you are junkies, drug dealer in umuntu onenzela amadwelems magang haka khata kelona. Cause like the dwellings you get them for mahala. How do you direct? Busy manufacturer the dwellings for her own sake or his own sake. Because I mean, I the dwellings in and of herself or himself. Survivor push a passion. So this person's out here manufacturing drugs for free in the community. This person is out here manufacturing didwelms in mahal. And so because didwelms are thingy di mahal, halimo respect. And this person's gotten you nice and hooked on these drugs. And so one day, I wasn't making drugs. Me, I'm a pharmacist. I wasn't making drugs for recreational use. I was making them as a cure for a disease, a pathogen. I was a scientist in a laboratory. I've been kicked out of the industry of making meds because apparently, allegedly, my methods were unorthodox. So I lost a career as a pharmacist. But yeah, choose and nna deep down inside belong yaka moyeng waka. Well, yeah, choose. Yet because I have not yet pioneered it. I have not yet groundbroken it. I got proof we in the market as a successful drug to cure a disease. I'm like Lorenzo's oil. So I'm yet. Therefore, all I've been doing is experimenting for mahala and the gasi, giving a bunch of crazies my meds. If to try and see if my little groundbreaking research that is however yet to be discovered as such is actually really very pioneering. So my free drugs that I'm giving to these miscreants, they got addicted to them and rejected healing, let not their bodies heal, but rather became junkies. Like making yourself a junkie to a painkiller that is supposed to eradicate pain, but you just chew it like it's Smarties to get off on it, to get high. You're not using it for the right purpose. So the analgesic properties of that painkiller, irrelevant in the body of a junkie. Fentanyl is supposed to eradicate pain. Some people use it recreationally and so they die from it. Y'all are like ones addicted to morphine that can significantly reduce the pain of a cancer patient. But you're taking it recreationally just to get off, just to get high. So therefore, an otherwise very helpful drug is out here killing in another spot because it is being received, unfortunately, for recreational purposes rather. So manje, when you are out dispensing fentanyl in a community of people that don't want to use it to cure their pain, but rather to feed their addiction. If you are using it to feed your addiction, then what are we gonna do for you? People are not gonna appreciate the true value of this drug. They're just gonna see it as a street drug, like flaka, like nyaupe, having no medicinal value for healthy purposes, innocuous purposes, good purposes, for the benefit of the human race, for humanitarian purposes. If people are going to view it as just like this crazy drug that needs to be removed off the market until the right people see it for what it is. And so therefore, take this unfortunate underground pharmacist off the underground space and put them in an environment where they can actually dispense meds to people who use them for the purpose of healing and not so much getting high. And y'all are like these junkies on pain meds. The junkies on pain meds that can significantly reduce the sorrow of some people. But these people are yet to see it for what it is. And so therefore you're very disrespectful to the pharmacist that is yet to be discovered, that is yet to be appreciated. That's what you are. You are monstrosities that are exploiting indaba yokuthi medicine that is really healing has been used by you for recreational purposes to destroy the pharmacist and to exploit the pharmacist and to exploit the father of the pharmacist, taking for granted that nobody will ever see them until somebody responsible extracts, removes, fishes out this person from obscurity. They find themselves in the right place where they can rightly feed some souls. And now you look dumb. But before then, the pharmacist in question that is manufacturing the drug that you're high on, forced in her little laboratory, the thing that makes you high. Because you are addicts. The healing power of the Holy Spirit. Nifuna nje ukuyolala nomfazi ongazingeni. Nifuna ukuyothatha into that does not belong to you. And futhi nifuna ukuyimosha, nifuna ukuyibhehlisa, nifuna ukumbulala. So listen, of course, the moment I realized ukuthi there's something else out there that I can do. The moment I realized ukuthi ikhona enye into that I can do other than ukuyobhizi mina dispense ama drugs for izinja that don't value the medication that I make. The moment I saw that I can try somewhere else, I can go to a new market. And there I will win a Nobel Prize for science for a groundbreaking cure that brought people to health that appeared done for, doomed forever. On the day when I realized I got something else, listen, I don't have to be here. I left, y'all. Laboratory. Focusing it let's get junkies that's appreciating what I was trying to heal their pain and not so much make them junkies. All these years. And I am South African breweries. I'm making puza. Autumn harvest. What I get Yvonne Chaka Chaka. I work hard every day to make these idiots beer. Wake up early every morning to make my beer, my African beer. I've been making African beer for what? Like, y'all, 11 years going on 12 years going on 13 actually. And now people are gonna realize, Uti, it's not beer, it's medicine. Like, you know how cough syrup has alcohol in it? There are people who have the brazen audacity to get off or high on cough syrup. But there are others who get a scratchy cough and then they take it and get better. They're responsible with medication. Don't let themselves get addicted to it. And y'all have taken my cough syrup and made it your shot in a shabin. Took my shot glass and made it. When it was supposed to be medication in the mental asylum that you were in. And now cut it. And when I realized, Uti, I don't have to be here anymore. When I saw Uti lab, my talents, my skills, my gift for making meds is never going to be received. And I stopped because I had an option to. Listen, I can. I could. This was no longer the only thing I had. This was no longer the only thing that I had. And so because this ceased to be my only option, where have you ever seen a muntu or papamayo that gets an epiphany that they're in an abusive relationship sticking around anyway because the moment a person has an epiphany and they've got options waiting for them and an abuser all up in there that she can live in, okay to go to a house where she keeps on getting met and I found another space. I found solace in a future that I'm trying to build. And I realized, Uti, the YouTube nonsense. YouTube nonsense. Just YouTube nonsense. Just social media nonsense. Not this vessel of interconnectedness by global citizens that is so freaking diabolical. There are a lot of the Earth's citizens, if they want to be maintained in any kind of sobriety at all, they do themselves a favor. Just get over it. Just get over it. Let's do a little bit of thinking. Okay? I don't know. Just a small little thought. How many of you in your dastardly lives, yeah, because as a concert, Nina, any bugele content, you're dastardly. How many of y'all know people in your lives separated from you, even to the 6th degree, as in as distant as 3rd or 4th or 5th cousin, or a friend that you last knew in primary school, that you last saw go primary, and now you're a woman in your late 30s or 40s. How many of you, in the midst of all of those people, know someone that is actively making a career out of social media in those degrees of separation in your lives? How many of y'all know people that are so active on social media that it pretty much makes up who they are? Like their whole life's mission is tied to social media. How many of y'all know people whose identity is just entrenched and rooted in social media? As in they post every day elaborately, and when they do, they get like thousands of views, hundreds of thousands, and in some instances are so prolific on social media that they're even making a career out of it. How many of y'all know people like those? How many of y'all know people like those? I don't know what your answers are, but I'll tell you about my situation, which is very, very hugely relatable. I, as Karabo Sizagele Hlongwane, am the only person that I know that has got a very heavy, deep, and wide footprint on social media in the ecosystem of every person I have ever known, stemming or retracting or regressing all the way back to my primary school, so that long ago, like as in my infancy. I don't know anyone that has as much of themselves on social media as me. So in my life and in the lives of people who have ever known me, I'm the only one, meaning that presence and relevance on social media is not actually quite the beast that everybody thinks it is. Most people I've ever known, their social media is indeed just that, merely social. Merely social. Rock up every so often, post one photograph of a baby shower, and then not look at their social media again for 3 days and then come back. Not look at their social media again for 2 weeks and then come back. And most especially not expect to make any money from it. They will post on social media when somebody in their lives has died. Oh my goodness, guys, I miss my mom. Oh my goodness, guys, I've lost my sister. Get condolences, RIP Spanba. Ababugi ama numbers wabo. Abeko very concerned or neither are they very pedantic about them. They're not looking at, oh, I've got 1,000 subscribers. And like most people are not on YouTube, but platforms like Facebook, a lot of people start a Facebook account, have a whole bunch of friends, but they're not actively looking at, oh, I'm sitting on 200 friends, or I'm sitting on 400 followers. Most people use social media and just because, oh, okay, Facebook, Instagram, but they're not actually trying to get 10,000 followers. And then when it comes to video library type social media platforms like TikTok and like, what do you call this thing? Like YouTube. A lot of times a person starts a YouTube channel because they're trying to start something significant. But TikTok, I know Shem, TikTok is like a Facebook but for video. It's more social for a lot of people than it is something that they're trying to use to basically bolster themselves in some fashion. But doing trend and follow and maybe some strangers out there in the wilderness, and because of being on TikTok every so often, umuntu then will get surprised by indaba yokuthi yo post yabo ye 5 seconds blew up, and that's when they then develop an intrigue to perhaps try and convert this into a career, see if they can't make money off it, see if they can't promote the business yabo through it or what. See if you get my point, right? The experiment. So most people are just not altogether that much on social media enough for it to just really sting when it doesn't work out for them. The grand majority of the world is just not looking at social media like that. There are, however, a small percentage of individuals that post something on TikTok and then it blows up, and then they're like, oh, maybe I can go even on YouTube. Maybe I can even make this a brand. Maybe I should see if I can knock on the shoulders of a graphic designer to help me brand. Maybe I should. So it's like an epiphany, a happenstance, something that, oh, because it kind of took off, let me see if I can do something, I can make something out of it. So essentially, most people are not necessarily aspiring to be content creators. And there is a large enough population of Earth's citizens to be with, hang with, ally with, that are not going to frown at you, look at you some kind of ways, sideways, find you weird. When you don't have any footprint on social media, or when you don't have 50,000 followers on Instagram, that'll still love you like a fat kid loves cake. When I live 2 followers on Instagram, or follow I feel like about how by 5 about family how, or post that to no one looking at you, or not lady friends and just like alumni from university, but nobody else knows you. Nobody's gonna out you looking at you like you ain't Jack because of Inabeguti. I don't know, my followers ain't gaga. It's not like not having a cell phone. It's not like not having been to school while every child went from grade 0 to matric. Things that are just important in society in 2026. But if you don't do that, if you don't have that, it's like, yo, whoa, what kind of a person doesn't have a phone? I mean, there was a time when I was growing up when it was feasible for a person to not have a phone. But now, not so much. So the trends of this world have had as such that now everybody has to have a phone in order for them to be regarded as kind of normal. So even the lowliest in society now have a cell phone. But there was a time when if you had a phone, you were kind of different, you were rare, you were the new thing on the block. And frankly looked up to on some, see, phone. But then there came a time when if you don't have a phone, you're the weird one. Social media has not gotten to a point of being like a phone, do you understand? Social media has not yet arrived at the place of being like going to school from grade 0 to matric. Believe it or not, there was a time way back in history where kids were thoroughly not expected to know how to read, go to school, and even then up to matric. That was not a societal norm. So kids could, at the age of 12, 13, go to the mines. It happened with Evan Roberts. At 13, you've only ever gotten education up to the age of 8. You can read, you can write, but matric, for what? For who? It was not a common occurrence among everybody. But now in our countries, it is illegal for a child not to go to school from grade 0 to matric. It is parental irresponsibility or societal irresponsibility to a point where education is free from grade 0 to matric because it is a bare minimum requirement for South African citizens. And so if a person is a matric dropout at their expense, really, but the government demands it of parents to take their children to school. There was a time when child labor was like a whole thing, but now you can't until you're like 18. Feasibly work anywhere where it is that it's not being closely guarded as to what it is that you're doing over here. There's only so much that a child under the age of 18 can do in this country. There are certain jobs they can't do. Yes, you can work as a casual at a store at Guess in Santon. Yes, you can this, you can that, but you cannot be made to gangane farm. You can't be made gangane to go harvest crop for some farmer. You can't, you know what I mean? Like child labor, it's illegal. There are only certain things that kids are allowed to do for some allowance, for a small little fee. They can work at the Wimpy as waiters and waitresses. I had a friend in high school that used to wait tables at Steers weekend, free time. But then she could not pick weeds or paint like walls in some construction site. They are just, yeah. What I'm getting at is that however, never mind what I'm getting at. There came a time in history where even though kids were not required to go to school, now they must. And so now it's a norm and people frown on kids at 13 who are not actively in school and who are not trying to be in school at least up until matric, grade 12. We understand that the world is evolving to a point where maybe all of y'all monsters will be on social media. I guess that's what ultimately culminates to the mark of the beast. Is surveillable galula on social media. Cell phones are born and it's just a tag on their back like they're an animal with a chip in their body.